Madam, shall I start?
Yes, ma'am, start.
Okay. Very good morning to all. Today we have with us Dr. Deep Narayan Singh, Associate Professor from Department of Livestock Farm Complex, Bihar Veterinary College, Bihar Animal Sciences University, Patna. I welcome you, sir. Dr. Deep Narayan Singh has done his BVSC from College of Veterinary and Animal Husbandry, Uttar Pradesh, MBSc in Livestock Production Management from Anand Agriculture University, PhD from Deen Dayal Upadhyay Pasu Chikitsa Vigyan University, Mathura. Dr. Deep Narayan Singh has worked in several positions, like he was a Senior Research Fellow in AICRP project, he was a veterinary officer, he has also served as an assistant professor in Veterinary College under Rajasthan Veterinary Animal Sciences University, Bikaner. He also served as a veterinary medical officer and assistant professor from College of Veterinary Science, Mathura. Currently, he is working as an associate professor from Bihar Veterinary College, Bihar Animal Sciences University, Patna. Dr. Deep Narayan Singh has published more than 50 research papers, 20 review articles, more than 100 popular articles in various national and international journals. Dr. Singh has published 3 books, presented 10 lead papers, 4 booklets, 14 laboratory manuals, and 20 training manuals. He has also associated with various extramural and intramural research projects. He has awarded with various awards like Young Scientist Award, Dr. C.M. Singh Award, Best Teacher Award of the Year, Dr. Varghese Kurian Award of Excellence, Dr. Bhagat Panda Award, Teacher Innovation Award, and so on. And he has also awarded for Best Oral and Poster Presentation Award. And Dr. Singh is a life member of several professional societies and member of editorial boards of various national and international journals. With this word, I welcome Dr. Deep Narayan Singh for his talk. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for nice introduction. And today I will deliver a talk on what should be the routine farm activities that should be adopted in our farm or recommended to our farmers for improving their productivity. This is the slide. Are you visible to all of you?
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. So, routine dairy farm management practices for sustainable dairy production. Because without performing the routine activities in any dairy farm, we can't achieve the good quality of production, as well as it is also important for the animal welfare point of view, because due to well-planned various routine activities in dairy farm, we can achieve our goal. We can achieve maximum benefit in terms of production, growth, reproduction, as well as the economics of the dairy farm can also be increased day by day. As we are well aware that dairy plays a sustainable role or very effective role for improving the livelihood security, food security, nutritional security of millions of people in India, because in India is the developing countries. So that's why, due to having very huge human population, we are suffering from various malnutrition problems. So that's why, by provision of suitable dairy farming in a scientific way, we can achieve maximum production. White revolution is one of the major breakthrough in Indian dairy sectors, has been well recognized, and it is the only reason that's why our milk production is gradually increased from 1952 to 2023 24, and we are now touching the milk production is around 236.35 million tons in financial year 2023 and 24 as per FAO reports. And due to white revolution, the milk production as well as the cultivation of different fodder crops is also improved. That is the reason gradually there is a implementation of various scientific interventions in the dairy sector, and that is the reason we are improving our milk production, health status of the dairy animals, as well as improving the health status of the human beings gradually day by day. Presently, our India produces about 24% of the total global milk production. With the implementation of the various scientific interventions, with the rise of human population, climate change, faster globalization, and reduction in cultivable land, Indian dairy sector suffers a lot of challenges and shortfalls. So that's why we should provide adequate solutions and scientific interventions for sustainability of the dairy production for our community. As we are well aware that good animals are always produced, not purchased, so that for achieving good quality of animals, we should provide adequate nutrition, not after birth of the calf, but prior to birth of the calf. So that's why during dry stage of animal, we should provide ample nutrition to the advanced pregnant cows, so that there will be birth of healthy calf, as well as there will be also production of good quantity of colostrum. That's why its immunity status, its health growth will be proper, and ultimately there will be significant reduction in the calf mortality. So that's why proper management is very important for sustainable dairy production. So management is art and science of combining ideas, facilities, processes, materials, and labors to produce a market and worthwhile product or services for successful dairy enterprises. So we should implement a suitable plan how we develop our dairy farm, what should be the location of the dairy farm, what should be location of various farm buildings and other animal sheds, so that there will be minimum involvement of labor and there will be easier in cleaning as well as other farm operation like milking and storing of various feed and fodders. And the location of the milk parlor is also plays a significant role for achieving this target. Well-planned routine management activities is necessary for welfare of dairy animals, because if we don't provide routine management or routine activities to the farm animals, then animals suffers from various types of stresses. I will discuss in various slides. So that's why if we adopt proper routine management activities, then ultimately the farmers get maximum growth, production, and reproductive performance from that particular animals. Adoption of proper routine management activities will be helpful in taking initiative for better improvement and income generation. On the basis of various routine management activities, we can observe what are the negative things or what are the various shortfalls. On that basis, we can implement necessary steps for improving the status. Means that is the corrective statement, or what are the various corrections by which we can improve for the betterment of the animals as well as for betterment of the production scenario or the productive performance of the animals, and ultimately the farmers get maximum income and that's why the socio-economic condition of the farmers will be gradually improved. Routine farm operations. So generally, the routine farm operation is depends upon the farmer's need, depends upon the type of farm, but some of the points are very essential to perform the routine activities, among which daily farm supervision is very important aspect. So for it is essential for every farm manager to inspect or to supervise the farm closely in a routine way, in a regular way, and each and every animal should be monitored closely to observe any defects or um, any abnormalities or any abnormal behavior which are being observed in any types of animals. It should be reported, and necessary steps can be taken as early as possible to reduce any types of casualties. If any animals in heat, then noted out their identification mark and performs artificial insemination within 12 to 15 hours after onset of stress. So that's why there should be proper heat detection method should also be applied in the farm, and the farm manager should also supervise the various activities of farm. There are various methods by which we can identify the heat stress or stress detection in the farm, because stress plays a very significant role for improving the reproductive efficiency as well as to reduce the intercalving periods. And ultimately, the farmers get maximum milk as well as maximum calf production in a shorter period of time. So that's why the farmers can also use teasers for heat detections, because generally some animals, they are not exhibit clear sign and symptom of heat. Buffaloes are very prone to exhibit silent heat. That's why they don't exhibit the clear sign and symptom of heat. So that's why it is very difficult to achieve a calf within a 12 to 13 month intercalving periods. So that's why by utilizing various other scientific techniques, um, there is also uh, provisions by which we can detect the animals on heat by observing the various symptoms, by observing their behaviors, their reduction in milk yield, as well as application of pedometers and various AI tools can also be used for detection of heat. If any animal suffers from any abnormalities or ill health, immediately isolate the animals and inform to a veterinarian for prompt treatment. So that's why isolation and quarantine plays a very significant role for improving the better production as well as for sustainability of the dairy farming, because there may be more chances of transmission of infections from one animals to other animals. Hence, as soon as we have observed or a manager has observed any abnormalities, there should be a provision of isolation shed at a one side of the farm premises, and immediately the animal should be isolated so that the animals cannot be come into contact with other animals and transmission of disease can be minimized. And prompt treatment is also very essential so that there may be reduced the chances of any casualties. There should also a provision of quarantine, because if there is no any provision of quarantine shed, then the animals which are purchased from other sites are those animals which are participating in any judging competitions or any exhibitions, that should also be put on quarantine set, because it may be suspected from suffers from any disease. So that's why generally the quarantine periods is depends upon the incubation period of diseases. So that's why all the animals should be put up into the quarantine shed for reducing the transmission of diseases. When the animals return from grazing, it will be the better time for observation of any types of injuries or any types of abnormalities in each animals. So that's why when animals are returned from grazing field or when the animals are in the open paddocks, so then it is the most suitable time periods for observing the any abnormalities, any injuries, as well as when the animals are um, moves towards the mangers, then it indicates that animals are not consume sufficient quantity of grasses in the grazing time. So on the basis of their behavioral symptoms, we can also identify what are the various factors and what are the various causes by which the animals exhibit such symptoms. So that's why on the basis of their abnormal behavior, we can also detect it very easily when the animals are under open shed or after returning from the grazing field. The goal of health management program is to ensure the optimal care and well-being of dairy animals, and to reduce the losses in productivity caused by diseases and management errors. So that's why health management program is very essential. So that's why we should also regularly in routine process to adopt the suitable deworming and vaccination of the animals, and vaccination of the animals in a um, given time periods are as per prescription of the veterinarians, because the dairy farmer suffers a lot of casualty due to various diseases. So that's why if we vaccinate the animals in a proper time periods, then chances of disease occurrence can be minimized, as well as suitable broad spectrum anthelmintic drugs can also be used to our farmers, used by the farmers to each category of dairy animals, to reducing the various endoparasitic infestation as well as ectoparasitic infestation. The health management program is generally developed cooperatively by the herd veterinarians and the dairy producers based on comparison of herd performance with predetermined performance goals. It will be better to conduct the fecal examination or various post-mortem examination to identify what are the various causative agents for a particular incidence. So that's why on the basis of that reports, we can easily evaluate the performance of various types of dewormers or antibiotics for curing the affected animals. The structure of health management program is unique to each farm, but is typically key to the scheduled veterinary herd visit, because the health management program is different for farmers. If there is only cattle population, then there is different types of dewormers or different vaccines is prescribed. And while in case of our indigenous cattle that are highly disease resistant, then most of the diseases that are not occurs in our indigenous cattle. And like some farmers also use the dairy goats, in which there are various common diseases which affects their growth, production, as well as reproductive performance. And there is highly casualty will occurs in goat due to PPR, enterotoxemia, and goat pox. So that's why we should provide adequate dewormers, and adequate vaccination schedule should be adopted as per expert or veterinary doctors' advice. Second one is grooming. Grooming is nothing but brushing or rubbing over the skin, either with our palm or by using various types of um, brushes, body brush or dandy brush or curry combs that are available for rubbing over the entire body surface of the dairy animals. The major function of grooming is for cleaning, stimulating the capillaries, to improve the blood circulation, as well as to improve the lusciousness or skin clearance or skin visibility over the body surface of animals, as well as to remove the parasitic control also. And by regular grooming, the farmers can easily observe any types of injury over the body surfaces. There is also various advantages like to achieve the clean milk production. Grooming provides fallance of any dust, dirt below the grounds, and any debris or loose hairs from the body surface of the animals. So that's why grooming is an art and science, both result in expressing the best attributes of the animals in terms of their welfare, as well as in terms of their production performance also. So that's why grooming plays an important role in maintaining the efficiency of animals at the expected level and in the healthy functioning of their thermoregulatory abilities in the maintaining their health. Because when we rub the skin with either body brush or with the palm of our hand, then there will be improved the blood circulation towards the cutaneous. That is, the cutaneous circulation will be improved. So that's why when there is a huge or ample quantity of blood is available to the skin surface, then the proper function of the sweat glands will be improved, because the thermoregulatory mechanism can be performed in cattle by four ways, that is conduction, convection, radiation, and evaporation, out of which evaporative cooling mechanism plays a significant role for maintaining the thermoregulatory mechanism. So that's why when there is improved the proper blood circulation towards the skin region, then there will be proper functioning of the sweat glands, and animal suffers from any adverse impacts of climate. Sometimes when we don't perform any grooming, artificial grooming or grooming by the mans, then animals always perform the self-grooming. They lick to other animals or rubbing over different branches of the trees, so that they can relieve from any types of irritations or any types of abnormal. Sometimes there may be some intermingling of some branches or some grasses in the body or in the space between horn and ear. Then the animals rubs their horn, and ultimately the object will be fallen down, and animal suffers from that strength, free from that strength object. So self-grooming is also exhibiting by the animals by using the licking by tongue, scratching with their hind feet, scratching with their horn, and sweating with the tails in an effort to clean all areas of their body that can reach easily. These are the various grooming equipments. Nowadays, automatic grooming equipments has also been um, in normal commercial dairy farm, which can also be used for proper grooming. The basic concept of grooming for achieving the clean milk production, it should be performed 1 hour before milking so that all fine dust particles suspended in air may be shuttled down and there will be no any dropping of any sediments or any particles inside the milk so that we can achieve good quality of milk. The basic advantage of grooming is removes loose hair and dirt, makes hair coat clean, glossy and pliable, close inspection for observation of abnormalities on body. Animal makes more docile because when we regularly in touch with animals, then animals makes more docile and animals become more familiar with the owners. It stimulates blood circulation and lymphoids in body, so that's why it improves the thermoregulatory response and also helps in sanitary milk production, that is clean milk production. Next one is exercising. Minimum exercise is necessary for all animals. It keeps the animals thrifty and active, and it also helps in to maintain the normal metabolic processes and maintenance of good health. Exercising is also make muscle active and the animal physically fit like human being. Outdoor exercise by exposure to sunlight helps in supply of vitamin D, which is also essential for their proper health. In case of bull, there is very difficult to exercise the bull because bull are generally vicious in nature. So that's why we can exercise the bull by using the bull exercise, in which we can tie around 8 to 10 or 12 bull at a times, and one person can exercise to all the bulls with the help of bull exerciser, so that their libido behavior can be maintained in a proper way. Bathing. Sometimes bathing is also accomplished or accompanied with the grooming behavior. But generally, in cattle, bathing is not used in a routine process. Okay? But we should prefer to wash or bath the cattle when they become too dirty to achieve the clean milk production, as well as to improve the proper thermoregulatory response. However, in case of buffalo, there is a requirement of bathing or washing because due to having the, especially in the summer month, because due to having the black coat and thick skin and there is less number of sweat glands, the animal suffers from the more heat stress condition. So that's why bathing is very essential in case of buffalo. That's why there should also be provision of ballooning tanks, and you can also provide uh, spraying, misting, or various other cooling devices along with the provision of fans so that the animals can able to feel comfort during adverse climatic condition. However, bathing in dairy animals should also be a routine farm operation to achieve clean milk production. Lekin, when we require to achieve clean milk production, in that case, we should be in a routine process. That's why we can achieve a maximum milk production with a clean cattle. These are the various ways. Now, this is the novel technology by which one by one animals uh, clean by using various showers, and they came into milk parlor, so that prior to milking, the animals will free from any dirt, dust, and dung, so that um, the farmers can milk the cleaner milk. There will be no presence of any debris or dung or hairs inside the milk. So that we can achieve good quality of milk, and the thermoregulatory response will be also in a proper way. That's why animals feel in a comfort way, and overall milk production will be improved gradually. Cleaning and disinfection of farm and set, that is also a very necessary step. So for reducing the various disease occurrence, hence cleaning and disinfecting is imperative to maintain the well-being and health of high-producing animals such as dairy cows. Thorough cleaning and adapted disinfection can help decrease the pathogen level and prevent or break the disease cycle. So, for achieving cleaning, either it may be manual or it may be mechanical or mechanized way, by which the whole shed should be clean in a proper way. That's why for easier cleaning, there should be a proper gradient of floor that should be 1:60, so that there is proper cleaning of the various dung and urine from any shed, and animal did not suffer from any diseases or any abnormal defects. Sometimes due to various dirty or various dumpy areas, the animal suffers from the hoof abnormalities. So that's why there should be a clean area. That's why the animals feel comfort for eating, for resting, and for exhibiting their behavior in proper way. Hence, cleaning of animal shed can be easily done with the use of tap water, proper lifting and disposing of all dung and leftover materials, as well as urine from the animal house, so that the shed can be look like a very clean and comfortable pathway or comfortable shed. Hence, daily removal of feed and fodder left over in the manger reduces the fly nuisance. Periodical cleaning of water through eliminates the growth of algae, bacteria, and viral contamination, and thus keeps the animal healthy. In a dairy farm, the most common disinfectant, that is the lime powder, select lime powder, that should be sprinkled in entire shed daily in a routine way. That's why, to decrease the influence of decrease the growth of pathogens or their fly annoyance. But there are other common disinfectants can also be used in animal shelter, like quaternary ammonium compound, which is very effective disinfectant in animal shed, but the basic drawback is it is very costly. So that's why in most of the farm, generally we use the lime solution or select lime powder as a disinfectant. Sodium hypochlorites can also be used. Potassium peroxide monosulfate, alcohols, chlorhexidine, bleaching powders, or various phenolic disinfectants can also be used for disinfection various sets or animals' pens. These are the various commercial uh, cough safe disinfectant which must be sprayed over the entire shed, inside as well as the outside, prior to giving the feed and water to the animals. Availability of showers or water sprinkles over the lactating animals reduce heat stress and milk production. That is also I have already discussed. That is the another way of bathing of dairy animals, by putting the animals inside the pond or by using the tap water. Uh, we can clean the animals to maintain the good hygienic condition of the dairy animals. When we proper clean the shed, there should also be a provision of waste management, because if we don't provide adequate waste management, then we can't achieve the our goal, our target for maximizing the production from the animals and sustainable dairy production. So that's why there should be a provision of manure pit or composting. There should also be provision of vermicomposting, biocompost unit, so that the use of biogas can be used for either cooking, either for electricity generation, either for using the various mechanical operation. Otherwise, if we don't provide proper cleaning or proper waste management, then the animal suffers from the great health hazards, and also the microenvironment of that farm will be greatly affected. And by proper composting and use of the slurry, we can also improve the soil fertility and also get income from selling of these good quality valuable manure. Hygiene and sanitation of milking utensils and equipments. Good hygiene of animals housing is integral part of human and animal welfare. So that's why proper cleaning and disinfection of animal house is essential for obtaining maximum benefit from livestock in respect of their productivity and services to the mankind. Heat hygiene, personal hygiene, and milking machine hygiene are also taken into consideration. First one is milking parlor hygiene. The milking parlor is high density place, so it should be disinfected twice a day prior to milking. And there should also be a provision of fly catcher, so that to reduce the fly annoyance in the milking parlor. Surface should be cleaned regularly to avoid multiplication of pathogens in this frequented area, or especially in milk parlor. As the milking machine is cleaned every day, it should be the same for the milking parlor itself. That means milking parlor also clean every day. After each time milking, rinse the milking parlor with water. The automatic milking parlor is often even dirtier, as the robot cannot be do everything by itself, and it should be cleaned daily by hand. So there should also be provision of proper sanitizing agents and disinfecting agents for making the premises neat and clean. And there is also necessary steps to use various equipment, to use the equipments, and their cleaning is also very essential. So that's why various equipments, manger, water troughs, buckets, especially milking buckets and cups, routinely used to sanitize and disinfect properly to reduce the disease incidence. And this is also most important. Sometimes in farm, there is also weaning is also being practiced. So in that case, we should also wash the bottles with nipples in a warm water, so that there will be maintain the good health condition of the calf. There are various points that should be considered during milking operation. There should be cleaning of the hands of the owner, that is milker hygiene. Milking equipments should also neat and clean. Mastitis affected cow should be milked at the last, and milk should not be used for consumption. And every day milking should done at the same time. There should no any variation, because if we uh, um, perform the milking operation in various times, then the milk production will be reduced significantly. There should be proper udder wash with water, wiped with clean and dry cloth. Remove the fore milk into a strip cup for detection of bacterial counts, and milking should be completed within 7 to 8 minutes. Cough hut, cough pen, and coughing box hygiene. We should also maintain the proper hygienic condition of the cough pen and coughing boxes, so that there will be prevent the entry of various infectious agents like bacteria, viruses, and various oocysts in the microclimatic condition of the cough shed. The best option is to clean and disinfect before each entry of animals and manage as an all-in and all-out system. If the animals affected, then it should be properly isolated, and also adopted all-in and all-out system to reduce the disease occurrence in most other animals. People's hygienes, I have already discussed. Prior to milking times, there should be proper washing of the hand with the suitable sanitizing agents, and boot disinfection is also very important. That's why there should also be provision of foot bath or foot dips. That's why there may be chance of reduce the entry of microbes inside the shed. So that's why, for the biosecurity point of view, there should be well provision of foot dips and vehicle dips, vehicle tire dips at the entry of the shed. Milking machine hygiene, I have already discussed. The milking machine should be properly disinfected with a suitable disinfectant. And especially when we perform the milking by using milking machine, then rubber liner must be cleaned with a properly sanitizing agents, especially chlorinated alkaline products or various acetic acids combined with hydrogen peroxides can also be used to disinfect the whole milking machine. But the rubber liner should be cleaned properly with the use of tap water, or by using cheminophores or any caustic for proper cleaning to achieve clean milk production. Animal hygiene, I have discussed that animal hygiene is also important due to the major economic significance in dairy animals, because mastitis, infertility, and lameness. If we don't provide proper hygienic condition, then there may be chances of mastitis, infertility, and lameness. So that's why just after parturition, there will be cleaning of posterior aspects and udder region with putting the cheminophore solution, and wash the entire udder and posterior aspects and clean and dry with using cotton towel. Teat hygiene. Teat hygiene is also very important for reducing the chance of thallitis or mastitis. So that's why prior to milking, we should properly clean the teats, and we don't allow the sitting to the animals 30 minutes after the milking. So that's why various teat dips are also available in the markets. So just after milking, you can dip the teats, so that there may be closure of the teat orifice, and chance of entry of microbes can be minimized. Feeding of dairy animals at regular intervals, that is also important factor. So there should be provides adequate and ample supply of good quality of feed and fodder to provides the balanced diet to our dairy animals for sustaining or for maintaining the proper growth, production and reproductive efficiency in dairy animals. The good quality feed and fodder should be provided according to their different stages of life as well as their physiological stages. Means different stages means their requirement is different. At the calf stage, the requirement will be different. At the heifer stage, the requirement will be different. At the adult stage, the requirement will be different. When the animals are in the pregnancy condition, the requirement will be different. When the animals in advanced pregnancy stage, the requirement will be different. Or when the animals in the working condition, then the requirement is different. In the breeding season, the requirement will be different. So on the basis of different physiological stages as well as the different stages of life, we should provide the nutrients or diet accordingly so that they cannot suffer from any malnutrition or any deficiency of feed and fodder. So that's why the health condition of the animals will be greatly improved. General feeding practices for dairy animals. Animal must be provided an ideal ration consisting of following qualities: presence of adequate amount of different nutrients in terms of protein, carbohydrates, fat, minerals, and vitamins. Mineral supplementation of minerals and vitamins is very essential in these conditions because day by day the soil is affected with mineral deficiency or the nutritional profile of soil is being reduced day by day. So that's why the mineral supplementation is very essential for optimization of production. It should be easily digestible and palatable, produces desirable flavor to the milk. Sometimes various feed and fodders that have a very abnormal odor. So if we feed such types of feed and fodder prior to milking, then there may be chance of some off flavor inside the milk. Ration should be economical, properly balanced, and possibly fresh, if possible. Ration should be have good effect on health. There should be no any adverse impact. Ration should be bulky and laxative so that there can be proper digestion. Ration should be non-toxic. As far as possible, the animal must be fed individually at regular schedule interval. Avoid sudden changes in ration of animals. Avoid drastic changes in the feed offered to the animals. Supplementation of minerals and vitamins are essential to the diet of animals. Cultivation, harvesting, and chaffing of fodder. It is also a routine practices because without sowing, without cultivation or harvesting and chaffing of the fodder, we can't provide the feed. We can't provide the fodder as such. So that's why sowing and cultivation and harvesting and chaffing is a very important aspects in for sustainable dairy production. The fodder crops are harvested from the field daily, either by sickles or reapers. Thereafter, the crop is collected from the field and carried to the farmhouse or dairy farm premises, where is the provision of cutter or chaff cutter for converting into a smaller piece. This is done to save storage as well as to improve the digestive efficiency of the animals. Sometimes some farmers which are having 4 to 5 animals, then they can be used for chaffing by using gadasa or by using manually or simple pulley driven chaff cutters. So it depends upon the financial status of the farmers. Then milking operations. I have already discussed about the milking operations. Milking operations can be performed in a very neat and clean way. That's why there may be very little chance to entry of various dirt into the milking utensils. And milking methods also plays a very significant role when we perform the hand milking. Most of the farmers, they perform the milking by using knuckling methods. In knuckling methods, just they are bending their thumb and withdraw the milk by using the rest four fingers pressures upon the teats. So in that case, milk is withdraw very faster rates, but the teat is suffers from the various types of injury due to very excessive pressure will be exerted over the teats. So that's why we should never recommend such types of milking operations or milking methods when we milk the animals with the help of hand. The best method of milking is full hand methods. Means this one is full hand methods, either this methods or by this methods. But when the animals in first lactation, then the teats will be very smaller in size. Then we can withdraw the milk with the help of two fingers. That is the stripping methods. And it is recommended never be milk the animals in the wet condition. Always perform the milking always in the dry condition. Record keeping. Record keeping is also a very essential segment for scientific dairy production. So that's why maintain a proper record in the dairy farm, because if we don't provide, don't maintain the proper records, then we can't realize or we can't determine the economics of our farm and productive performance of different animals. Thus, both animal recording and identifications are always required. There are several useful records such as production and financial and reproduction records or physical records that are very important for maintaining proper record in a dairy farm. Generally, the farmers, they don't maintain the records. They are totally depends upon their memory, but it is not the better way for scientific dairy farming practices. So that's why we should prefer to maintain the proper record. Advantages of record keeping. Records provides basis for evaluation of animals from past records, hence helps in selection and culling of animals, helps in preparing pedigree and history records, helps in assessing the past records and designing better breeding plan to check inbreeding, selecting superior parents, and helps in better replacement and culling practices. Helps in progeny testing of bulls. Means by maintaining different types of records, we can analyze the taste and also analyze the various feed costs and benefits from the animals and their products. Helps in detection of abnormal condition in disease status of the herd, leads to loss in body weight, loss in milk production, helps in finding the commonly occurring diseases in the herd, and thus to formulate in time various precautionary measures or corrective measures like vaccination, deworming, and periodical treatment of the animals. Help in fixing proper price of the animals. Help in better supervision and management of herd. Helps in estimating the cost of milk production, means economics, and to compare the herd performance in different years to determine the amount of profit loss each year and setting future goals and directions of the farm. Types of record to be maintained: herd inventory, animal history sheet, calving register, daily milk register, calf register, growth record, daily feeding register, herd health register, cattle breeding register should be maintained at our farm. Next one is marking or identification of new animals or our dairy animals. The marking can be performed by using either tagging or tattooing methods or by ear notching. But in case of dairy animals, ear notching is being not practiced because this ear notching is generally practiced only in the beef cattle. There is also a muzzle printing techniques by which we can also determine the identification of a particular animals by observing or by scanning the particular uh, structure of their muzzle prints, because the muzzle print of every animals is being different, just like the human fingerprints of human fingerprints. Branding can also be performed, but nowadays it is not being practiced because animal suffers from severe pains. So, so that's why identification plays a very important role for maintaining the record keeping. So various identification systems is also being available, but the method is depends upon on the choice of and the stage of animals, because in the early stage of life tagging is not possible. So that's why in the early stage, that is in calf stage, tattooing is being in practice, while in younger stage tagging can be practiced. And just after calving, we can also use various temporary marks for identification of animals. Other dairy farm operations like clipping of hairs. Generally, clipping of hairs is not practiced in our indigenous cattle, but we can achieve clipping of hairs when there is more growth of hairs, especially in hindquarters or in posterior aspects. But in case of exotic animals or crossbred animals, clipping is essential for improving the milk production. During the breeding season, preputial hair should be clipped so that proper breeding efficiency can be improved or semen quality can be improved to avoid any chance of infection. Bedding is also a very important aspect. However, generally the bedding is provides to provide the warm microclimatic conditions to the calf, because during early stage of life, thermoregulatory response is very poor. So that's why during the winter season we should provide the paddy straw to the animals so that the animals feel comfort. Nowadays, we can also provide the various rubber mat, because sometimes during the extreme summer conditions or not proper leveled floor, the animals suffers various abnormalities due to uneven surface. So that's why provision of mat is also a very good steps for improving their health. Dehorning and disbudding is also in practice, but it is not a routine way. But it should also be recommended, because if we perform the dehorning, there will be a less space requirement, chance of injury will be reduced, and there will be less risk of any horn cancer cases. So that's why dehorning or disbudding can also be performed. Sometimes in Murha breeds, the horn, due to spiral curvature of the horn can able to penetrate the skin. So that's why dehorning is being practiced by using the wire saw or gingly wire or simple saw for cutting the horn tip of the Murha buffalo. And disbudding can be also be performed by using various methods, either by NOH or KOH sticks, either by electrical dehorner. By that we can perform the disbudding operation. Castration. It is also the removal of testicles in male to reduce the unwanted breeding, so or to check indiscriminate breeding in the male. So that's why castration should also be in practice in dairy farm, because those animals which are not having the true breed characters, are not true exhibit the proper performance, then castration should be practiced. Male cattle and buffalo used for work are castrated so that they become docile and amendable for work. Weighing of animals is also being practiced for provision of medicines or for estimating the growth. So that's why weighing of animals is also important, but it is also not a routine process. It is either a process we can use by using the various formulation. Lg square upon 300s, where that is the length. Length is from point of shoulder to the pin bones, and the total circumference, that is girth. So by which we can calculate. This is the tentative time schedule for performing the routine dairy farm operations, by which we can perform or make a tentative schedule to perform the various dairy farm operations. Depends upon your choice, depends upon your preference, and depends upon the labor availability. We can plan accordingly. And for sustainable dairy productions, we should regular check the heat detections and insemination of cow. Also observe the sign of illness, injury, or diseases, fodder and concentrate quality, availability of fresh water, dairy farm sanitation, hygienic milking, timely feeding, exercise, bathing and milking of animals, proper waste management, herd health management, and drying of lactating cow 60 days before calving, so that udder can get sufficient time to recoup its normal health, normal strength for conceiving or for bearing the next offspring. Finally, I would like to conclude my topics that dairy farming is one of the most intensive systems for improving the socio-economic condition of the farming community. Effective business management for farm production and financial information should be well planned and necessary to chalk out a routine dairy farm routine work plan for optimization of growth, production and reproduction, as well as judicious utilization of labors and other technical staff as per our need and requirements. That's why we can maintain our farm in an economic way. Adoption of proper routine management activities will be helpful in taking the initiatives for better improvements and income generation as per our observation. And finally, adoption of proper routine management activities are also associated with animal welfare, that is freedom from hunger, thirst and malnutrition, freedom from discomfort due to environment, freedom from fear and distress, freedom from injury, pain and diseases, and freedom to express their normal behavior. So that's why we should also taken into consideration not only in the terms of growth, production and reproduction parameter, but also it is very important for maintaining the animal welfare, which is also our ethical value or ethical responsibility for each human being. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this nice and informative lecture, sir. Now the session is open for the discussion. Dear participants, kindly you can ask directly if you have any query, or you can write in the chat box. I think, sir, there is a no query. You have presented in a very nice way and a nice and understandable way. So you have covered various topics like routine dairy farm operation, how can we supervise the animal, how can we groom the animals for its better health, importance of exercise, bathing, cleaning, and disinfection, where you have covered in very better way. And you have also covered the waste management, hygiene practices at farm, importance of record keeping. So, sir, on behalf of organizing committee, I would like to thank you, sir, for this informative lecture. And at last, I want to thank all the participants for their active participation.
Okay, thank you so much to
so
all
much,
of
sir.
you, and especially the NADCL teams and our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, our Dean, sir, Dr. Umesh Kumar Singh, sir, and Course Director, Dr. Jadam, and Dr. Course Coordinator, Dr. Anuradha, and her teams. They are planned the whole course in a very exhaustive manner and very clear manner so that our participants can be benefited more. And I am also highly thankful to all of the participants. We are listened to me in a very nice manner, and I am also thankful to all the BASU faculties for providing me to such opportunity. Thanks one and all. Thank you so much.
Sir,
Hello, ma'am.
excuse me. Sir, someone
Anyone?
is want to ask question.
Hello.
Sir, please. Yes,
Yeah,
sir, you are audible.
Hello, ma'am. Myself, Dr. R.R. Shirke, speaking from Dr. Panjab Deshmukh Kulshit Devi Dakola. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Dr. Deep for very nice presentation with effective manner on the behalf of the participant. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
Okay,
you.
and thank you, sir. Dear participants, we will meet at 2:30 p.m. for our next lecture. Thank you.